everyone! In this lesson, the topic talk about what can we do as ordinary citizens during emergency situations. We are going to learn about the possible responses we involved in different situations. An emergency is a situation that poses an immediate risk to health, life, property, or environment. Most emergencies require urgent intervention to prevent a worsening of the situation, although in some situations, mitigation may not be possible and agencies may only be able to offer palliative care for the aftermath.
Emergency. An emergency is an unexpected situation that endangers the safety of one or more individuals. Although emergencies are unexpected events, it is essential for health and safety practitioners to identify possible hazards, minimize risk, and have emergency planning in place that allows for a rapid and efficient response in the event of an emergency arising. So, binasa ko ang definition ng emergency at para mas maintindihan nyo pa ito, i-explain ko siya. Alam naman natin na ang emergency ay isang sitwasyon na hindi natin inaasahan at nakadudulot ito ng panganib sa isang individual o higit pa. Kaya, mahalaga sa isang practitioner ng kalusugan at kaligtasan na tukuyin ang mga posibleng panganib at magkaroon ng emergency pagpaplano na nabibigay daan para sa mabilis at mahusay na pagtugon kung sakaling magkaroon ng hindi inaasahang peligrong darating sa isang individual. And now, we will proceed to the different types of emergencies, whether at home or at work. Emergencies can happen everywhere. Here are the most common types of emergencies and how to respond to them. Accidents. Accidents come in many forms. The most common ones include transportation accidents, such as car accidents, but accidents can be more severe. These include fires, hazardous material spills, explosions, structural collapse, or entrapment. Most of these accidents require immediate emergency contact. For example, tumawag ka sa 911 kung may nasugatan sa isang car accident o tumawag ka sa fire department kung may sunog. There are also immediate measures you can do while you wait for an emergency. For example, sabihin nating niligtas mo ang isang taong nasangkot sa boating accident at siya ay nawalan ng malay. Kaya ang ginawa mo ay nag-CPR ka sa kanya para magkamalay siya at madali kang tumawag sa emergency responders para maagapan siya. Next is natural disasters. Natural disasters have many forms. Common ones include earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and other weather-related disasters. Natural disasters can also be disease-related, such as an outbreak of severe diseases. Fortunately, you can prepare in advance for many natural disasters. For example, sa panahon ng lindol, dapat i-execute mo ang duck, cover, and hold at tumago sa ilalim ng mesa at hintayin mong humina ang lindol at doon ka na magsisimulang mag-evacuate sa mas ligtas na lugar. And lastly, the intentional violence and harm. There are many accidents caused intentionally by humans. This can be as minor as a civil disturbance or a threat, or a severe kidnapping, robbery, and or an act of terrorism. The way you react depends on where you are in the situation. If you're the victim, it can be hard to know how to respond. The best course of action is to keep calm. For example, kung nakidnap ka, wag mong subukang bigyan sila ng dahilan para saktan ka. Ngunit gawin mo ang sinasabi nila hanggang sa makakita ka ng pagkakataong makatakas. Kung may umaatake sa mga kidnapper tulad ng pamamaril, ang pinakamagandang gawin ay tumakas ka sa lalong madaling panahon at manghingi ka ng tulong sa taong makikita mo para matulungan ka. Stretcher. A stretcher is a device that is used to transport an ill or injured person by having the person lie on the object. This requires at least 2 people to help assist in the transport. So, binasa ko ang definition ng stretcher at ngayon i-explain ko siya para mas maintindihan niyo pa ito. Ang stretcher ay isang device na ginagamit upang dalhin ang taong may sakit o sugatang tao. When a stretcher is not available, there are several ways to make a stretcher. The technique is use 2 poles that are somewhat longer than the victim's height, with a few shirts and push the poles through the sleeves. So, ang ibig sabihin ko nito ay kung wala ka namang stretcher na gagamitin mo sana sa sugatang tao, ang technique mo rito ay gumamit 2 poste na medyo mas mahaba kaysa sa taas ng biktima, na may ilang mga kamiseta at itulak ang mga poste sa mga manggas. And also, you can use a tarp or blanket and wrap the poles in between. So, pwede ka rin gumamit ng tarp or kumot at balutin ang mga poste sa pagitan. So, makikita naman natin sa picture na binalot niya ang 2 poste at ang gamit niya sa pagbalot ay kumot. Search and rescue. Search and rescue is an operation mounted by emergency services, often well-trained volunteers, to find someone believed to be in distress, lost, sick, or injured either in a remote or difficult to access area, such as mountains, desert, forests, or at sea. So, ang search and rescue ay isang operasyong inilagay ng mga serbisyong pang-emergency at kadalasang sinanay ang mga voluntaryo upang mahanap ang isang tao na pinaniniwalaang nasa pagkabalisa, nawala, may sakit o nasugatan, at alinman sa isang malayo o mahirap na ma-access na lugar tulad ng bundok, disyerto, kagubatan o sa dagat. And now the principles of the search and rescue. Search and locate victim. Gain access of the victim, stabilize the victim, and lastly, intricate the victim. Basic rescue evacuational techniques. Evacuation and safe rescuing of victim by applying simple manual techniques can save the life of the victim. Regular hands-on practice and drills will help the rescuer to save lives in quicker and safer manners. And now we will discuss the few important and improvised techniques in one rescuer. Ankle pull. The ankle pull is the fastest method of moving a victim a short distance over a smooth surface. This is not a preferred method of patient movement. So makikita natin sa pictures sa taas na pinul niya yung biktima at doon niya hinawakan sa may ankle pero hindi ito preferred sa method ng patient movement. Shoulder pull. The shoulder pull is preferred to the ankle pull. It supports the head of the victim. The negative is that it requires the rescuer to bend over and while pulling. So makikita natin sa picture sa ibaba na pinul niya ang biktima at prefer din siya sa ankle pull at nakasupport ang ulo sa biktima habang pinupul niya ito. At ang negatibo pa rito sa rescuer ay kailangan pa niyang mag-bend habang hinihila niya ito. One person lift. This only works with a child or a very light person. So makikita natin sa itaas na picture na binuhat niya ang bata pero mawo-work lang ito kapag magaan ang isang tao. Pack, strap, carry. When injuries make the rescuer carry unsafe, this method is better for longer distance than one-person lift. So, makikita natin sa picture sa ibaba na nahihirapan buhatin sa rescuer ang sugatan na tao. Kaya, ang mas better gawin ay i-cross ang mga braso ng biktima at hawakan ang kabaliktaran na pulso ng biktima. Hilahin ang mga braso malapit sa iyong dibdib. Bahagyang yumuko at itulak ang iyong mga balakang sa biktima habang bahagyang nakayuko sa baywang. At ngayon, sa may 2 rescuers naman tayo magdi-discuss. 4-handed set. This technique is for carrying conscious and alert victims moderate distances. The victim must be able to stand unsupported and hold themselves upright during transport. So, makikita natin sa itaas na picture na ang biktima ay dapat na makatayo ng hindi suportado at hawakan ang kanilang mga sarili patayo habang dinadala. 2-handed set. This technique is for carrying a victim longer distances. This technique can support an unconscious victim. So, makikita natin sa ibaba na picture na ang binubuhat nila ang biktima at masusuportahan lang ito kapag walang malay ang isang biktima. And lastly, the chair carry. This is a good method for carrying victim up and down stairs. So, makikita natin sa picture sa ibaba na binubuhat nila ang biktima na may inuupuan na lingkuran at ito ay mabuting method sa pagdadala habang nasa hagdanan.
Good day everyone, my name is Rahmanur Ismail. Today, we will discuss about first aider or a first aid. What is a first aider or what do you mean by a first aider? A first aider is someone who has undertaken training appropriate to the circumstances. They must hold a valid certificate of competence in either first aid at work or emergency first aid at work, any other level of training and qualification that is appropriate to the circumstances. First aid refers to the emergency or immediate care you should provide when a person is injured or ill until full medical treatment is available. Also, first aid is quick help to ease an injured person before they can get to medical assistance. On the other hand, when we say first aider is a person who or things which provide aid or assistance, a helper, a help, support, or means of assistance. The next is, what is the purpose of a first aider? First aid is the immediate or care given to someone suffering from an injury or illness until further advanced care is assist or individual recovers. The aim of first aid is to preserve life, prevent illness or injury from becoming worse. 5 characteristics of good first aider. Number 1 is communication skills. If you are able to communicate effectively with the injured person, they will be much more likely to trust you and feel reassured. Number 2, the ability to work under pressure. Number 3, initiative and leadership. Number 4, the ability to work in a team. Number 5 is positivity. The 3 main objectives of the first aider. The aim of first aid are preserve life, prevent harm, and promote recovery. And first aid, AVC stand for airway, breathing, and circulation. The recovery position helps minimize further injury. What is first aid with example? First aid is defined as medical assistance provided to a person who has suffered a medical emergency. Cleaning a cut and putting a bandage on it is an example of first aid. Emergency treatment that is given to an injured or sick person or animal, often by someone who does not have medical training. The next is first aid kit. When we say first aid kit, ito yung ginagamit o ito yung nilalaman ng ginagamit sa first aid. Consider purchasing a commercially available first aid kit or making your own. Having a kit in your home, your car, and at your place of work is essential to stay prepared. This is common items found in a first aid kit are band-aids, roller band-aids, and tape, sterile gauze, antiseptic wipes and swabs, absorbent compresses, antibiotic cream, burn ointment, mask for breathing, chemical cold pack, eye shield, and eye wash. Be familiar with that because first aid kit is so important. Unconscious victim. When you encounter an unconscious victim, do this. Number 1 is ask the victim a question to find out if they are conscious. Do not shake them. Number 2, send someone to call for 911 and put on protective gloves. 3, perform your ABC check. If they are not breathing, do CPR. Number 4, hold the victim's head and monitor the airway until medical aid arrives. Another one is how to stop a nosebleed. Number 1, identify yourself and ask if you can assist. 2, have the patient lean slightly forward. 3, have them pinch their nose just below the bridge and keep an even pressure. 4, once the bleeding has stopped, make sure the patient doesn't do anything to start the bleeding again, like blowing their nose or picking it. First aid. Ito yung mga ginagawa ng mga first aider. Step 1, recognize the problem and call for help. Active EMS by calling 911. The another one is how to determine responsiveness. Tap their shoulder and shout, "Are you okay?" If the individual does not respond, yell for help. Assist the scene for safety. Assessing the safety of the surrounding is critical when approaching any scene. You do not want to become another person who is injured or ill, so look for any potential dangers. Remove the person from any dangers such as the presence of water at the scene. Be especially alert to avoid danger from automobile traffic. If you are done to do the first aid, you can't remove your glove. And avoid touching the other contaminated surface. Slowly pull on glove off while turning it inside out. Place the glove in the palm of the other glove hand. Remove the second glove. After mo ma-remove yung gloves, you can wash your hand. Hand washing. Completely wash your hands and generously apply soap. Rub vigorously for at least 20 seconds and then rinse your hand with water. Dry your hand with towel or air dryer. Hand washing is essential in the prevention of disease and illness. Wash your hands after each episode of care and after taking off gloves. When a sink is not available, use hand sanitizer. Most hand sanitizer are alcohol-based and are a substitute for hand washing when needed. Again, uulitin ko, first aider is a person who or thing which provide aid or assistance. First aider is a helper, support, or means of assistance.
Some of types drug methods of one-man carry. First, assist to walk. Second, piggyback. Third, carry in arms. Fourth, firefighter carry. And last, fireman's carry. Assist to walk. To perform a walking assist, place the injured or a person's arms across your shoulders and hold it in place with one hand. Support the person with your other hand around the person's waist. In this way, your body acts as crutch supporting the person's weight while you both walk. And for piggyback, place one arm around their back and the other hand on their legs. for carrying arms. So a musket is held with the fingers of the right hand extended and the barrel resting on the shoulder in nearly perpendicular position. The soldier is said to stand and his musket to be held at carry. For firefighter carry, so fireman's carry or fireman's lift is a technique allowing the person to carry another. So person without assistance by placing the carried person across the shoulder of the carrier. The third technique is still taught for use outside firefighting but is no longer surely for use by firefighters. The last is fireman's drag. The rescuer will need to use their legs to push against the floor for leverage to pull the person towards an exit rather than using their arms and hands.
So good day everyone, I am Jonah Pimentel. So for today, I will be discussing about fire. So what is fires? Fire is the rapid oxidation of a material in the exothermic chemical process of combustion, releasing heat, light, and various reaction products. So, we already know unsa kadelikado if ever mahitabo siya and daghan na jung nahitabo ani nga incident this year. So, these slides are ways to prevent fire incidents. So first, blow out candles before leaving a room or going to bed. When cooking, keep towels, pot holders, and curtains away from flames. Next is keep matches, lighters, and other ignitable substances in a secured location out of the reach of children, and only use lighters with child-resistant features. And keep fire in your fireplace by using a glass or metal fire screen large enough to catch sparks and rolling logs. Next is always check the kitchen before going to bed or leaving the home to make sure all stoves, ovens, and small appliances are turned off. And lastly, keep all potential sources of fuel like paper, clothing, bedding, or rugs at least 3 feet away from space heater, stoves, and fireplace. And here are the tips for the fire safety. First is install smoke alarms on every level of your home, inside bedrooms and outside sleeping areas. And number 2 is test smoke alarms every month. If they are not working, change the batteries. And third is talk with all family members about a fire escape plan and practice the plans twice a year, just like ginabuhat nato sa earthquake dili kung unsay angay buhaton. And lastly, if a fire occurs in your home, get out, stay out, and call for help. Never go back inside for anything or anyone.
My topic for today is electrical incident. An electrical accident is an undesired event caused by electric current resulting to injury to a person or damage to property. An incident is an undesirable event where an electric current could have led to injury of a person or damage to property. There are 4 main types of injuries: electrocutions or fatal, electric shock, burns, and falls. These injuries can happen in various ways: direct contact with exposed energized conductors or circuit parts. Electrocution. Electrocution is death of severe injury by electric shock, electric current passing through the body. The word is derived from electro and execution but is also used for accidental death. Electric shock. Electric shock is a sudden discharge of electricity through a part of body. An electric shock occurs when someone comes in contact with an electric energy source, or it is the physiological reaction or injury caused by electric current passing through the human body. Third is burns or electrical burns is An electrical burn is a skin burn that happens when electricity comes in contact with your body. When electricity comes in contact with your body, it can travel through your body. When this happens, the electricity can damage tissues and organs. This damage can be mild or severe and can even cause death. First, disconnect the appliances or turn off the power if the person is undergoing electric shock. Second, cover associate electric shock burns with a dry sterile dressing only. Third, never touch a person undergoing electric shock or you too could become a victim. And that's all my report. Thank you.